We need to be consistent in our principles, values, and purpose, but we need to be flexible in our approach.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and repeat that again. That's really important. So we want to be consistent in our values and our principles and our purpose, but flexible in our approach. I think that's really, really important distinction, which I don't know what you've seen, but I can tell you, a lot of leadership. I had a mentor of mine years ago who kind of was an academic in the leadership space. And she said, I never did ask her what the 5 were, but she said, there's really just 5 ideas. They just come back. And we're in kind of a down period with culture. No one's really talking about culture. I mean, they're talking about where people work. Are you working at home or working virtually? But that's not culture. That's just where people are working. So I love the fact that you brought back kind of purpose and principles and values. I think that's really, really important. And I think that's key. But going back to this idea of being flexible, if I channel listeners right now, I've had several folks say to me, yeah, I love the idea of innovation and design thinking and beta testing, but my leader says there's no room for error. I can't make a mistake. There's no hey, well, we tried this, boss, and it didn't work, but we're trying something else. There's no absolute room for error. So when you have leaders with that kind of pressure, you cannot fail. They're in cultures where everything's so lean, there's so much pressure and anxiety, no room for failure. How do they navigate in that space? What coaching or counsel might you give them?
Well, first of all, I would say that's not actually the real world. I mean, I know that's the real world that they're feeling. I know what you're saying, people are saying to you. But unless you're going to have a bunch of AI robots, humans make mistakes. And that same organization that says they don't want anyone to make any mistakes wants people to grow. If you don't make mistakes, you can't grow. It's not possible.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a great point.